when you've got a child with Duchenne muscular dystrophy and you're told that there's really not very much hope, you basically need some kind of hope for the future. And by setting up a charity and actually raising funds, it felt that we had some control over the situation, that we could actually raise money and actually try and bring about new treatments for our children. Muscular dystrophy is a relentless condition. Basically, you know it's just going to keep getting worse. Boys with Duchenne generally are in a wheelchair by the age of 12, and a lot of them won't see past their 20s. It's 100% fatal. There are no cures, there are no treatments at present. Because Alex, my son, was diagnosed with Duchenne muscular dystrophy back in 2010. We did a lot of researching on the internet, and we basically spoke with a lot of charities that already exist in the UK to find out how much funding was actually going into research and into clinical trials. And what we quickly realised was there's just not enough funding going into the work that needs to be done to bring about new treatments. He's missing a protein, which means that his body can't make his muscles strong. So therefore they just keep weakening over time.
He can see that there's something wrong with him, but because he's been introduced to it at such a young age, it's part of his normal day life. I mean, it's a horrible thing for him to understand what's wrong with him as a person, but they're very, very resilient little people, and they move on with it, and they understand it, and he understands what's wrong with him, and he takes it on in his stride far more than any of us as an adult can.
You've got the pressure of knowing that a child that's got Duchenne might not have the future that you and I perhaps take for granted. One day Alex was walking up the stairs, and he got to the top of the stairs and he said, "I feel like an old man today, Mummy." It's tiring on his muscles, so for him just to walk up the stairs or to walk down the road, it's a lot more hard work for him. When I did the 3-Peak Challenge this year, I couldn't walk for about 3 days, and I had to get up the stairs, and Alex just said to me, "Mummy, that's what it's like for me every day." And it just really hit home what it's like living with Duchenne muscular dystrophy. Alex probably does know more than what we think. He's a bright young boy. He's not stupid. But actually, a lot of the times he actually tries to protect me because he knows it can make me upset. We actually run a number of fantastic events throughout the year. For instance, we have a charity cycle ride in May, which is called the Child Modified Cycle Ride. Last year it was a 20 and a 40 mile bike ride, but for 2016 we're going to bring about a 10, a 20 and a 50 mile bike ride. That's an excellent way for actually people to actually support the cause and raise funds. We also have got 55 places at this next year's Prudential Ride London, and we're doing a London to Paris cycle ride. In addition to that, we've got our annual charity golf day, and obviously we have the dandelion ball that we do once a year as well. For anybody wanting to get involved in Alex's Wish, basically we're calling them our Wish Warriors. Anybody that wants to become a Wish Warrior can do so by taking part in our events that we run. They could take part in events that they want to do themselves, so if they want to run a marathon, they can choose Alex's Wish. There's just so many ways that people can get involved in Alex's Wish. That could be by donating their time or their skill sets, or just spreading the word on social media. We'd like to raise at least £130,000 next year, with the ultimate aim that we want to raise £1 million within the next 5 years. The money that we raise, basically we try and ensure that that money is put to good use as soon as possible. So we're actually funding new research and new clinical trials that potentially will hopefully bring about new treatments for our boys.
The money that people are giving to us is helping not only Alex, but the awareness for people about Alex's condition, and also boys just like him. Alex is on a Pfizer trial in Newcastle at the moment. He's the only boy in the country at the moment that's taken on by Pfizer.
It's going brilliantly. He's had about sort of 4 injections so far of the new drug, and what we're hoping by, if it does build muscle, then it's hopefully going to make him stronger, which means that he will be on his feet for a lot longer, which makes the whole sort of prognosis of Duchenne hopefully better. He is amazing. The amount of hospital appointments that he has to do, the amount of injections and the things that he has to go through is incredibly difficult for a child of 9. And I do find that after the appointment, he does have more questions for me. It's when he kind of really thinks about Duchenne and his future. So we've had some real heartbreaking sort of discussions really about, mummy, what's going to happen to me in the future? Am I going to be able to drive? Am I going to grow up? Will I be able to get married? Alex's wish has definitely helped Alex. He's really proud of it. He talks to his friends about it at school and the teachers, and encourages them to get involved as well. And he knows that we're all doing our best to try and bring about new treatments. And I think for him, it's great to see that, and I think it gives him great hope and a lot of strength as well, to know that he's got so many supporters that are all really trying our best.
We'd really like to thank all of our supporters. We wouldn't be in the position where we are now with Alex. I don't think we'd have even been on this trial if we hadn't been able to have the funds that people have helped us with.
2016, obviously we want it to be even more bigger and successful as we did last year. There's some fantastic work that's on the horizon that we would like to invest in, clinical trial capacity being one of them. We know there's a lot of work and a lot of money that needs to be done in that area to actually ensure that no child is actually turned down for a clinical trial in the UK. But nobody knows what tomorrow is going to bring, nobody knows what the next year is going to bring. I just say to Alex is, don't concentrate on what's happened, let's concentrate on the future. And that's why charities like Alex's Wish are co-funding clinical trials and research projects with lots of other UK and international charities, all fighting for the same cause, and that is to get new treatments, hopefully one day in the near future, a cure for all boys that have Duchenne muscular dystrophy.